Welcome to the Prophets of Babel with your host Janine. Today we are continuing the Aklatan, Part 4, The Life of Suran. The Life of Suran, Chapter 1. Now it came to pass that Suran, being a righteous man and living by the convictions of his heart, did explore a mountainside in search of food for his family, for they did eat freely of that food which was available to them. Now while Suran did search for food, Gamek, his uncle, did approach him, and it came to pass that Gamek did speak unto him, and say, Suran, the son of my brother, hearken unto my words. For I have followed you, that I might teach unto you a great secret, which has been preserved by my ancestors and your ancestors. Now Gamek, even though he was stricken with great age, was still a wise and intelligent man. And he spoke more, saying, This secret which I have spoken of doth concern the history of our people, and the commandments of God concerning our people. Now behold, Suran knew not of what his uncle spake, for he understood there to be many gods, and he did worship them with much fervor. Now Gamek spake unto him again, saying, Come, and I may teach you God's laws, and you shall obey the things which I shall speak unto you. Now Suran, being a curious man, desired to know concerning these things which his uncle spake. And they took their journey into the jungle, and they did travel for many days, and did tread upon many divers paths. Now behold, it came to pass that they did come unto the base of a cliff, and it was surrounded by trees, even so that it was hidden from the sight of any man. And water did issue forth from the top of the cliff. Now Gamek did bring forth a container made of bamboo, and he did remove the stopper in the end thereof, and from within the bamboo he did bring forth several writings. After which he spake unto Suran, saying, Behold, Suran, these are the records of our ancestors. And Suran marveled at these things, and did read the writings which was upon them. And behold, these writings did contain a history of a group of people who traveled to these islands, wherefore their fathers were descendants of Shem, who were preserved from the flood. Now the son of Shem was Arphaxad, and the son of Arphaxad was Salah, and the son of Salah was Eber, and the son of Eber was Peleg and Joktan. Now Joktan had 13 sons, who were Almadad and Sheleph and Hazarmaveth and Jerah and Uzal and Dikla and Obal and Abmiel and Sheba and Ophir and Havilah and Jobab. Now Ophir did have sons, and they did travel for many years, even until they did reach the northern shores of these lands. And they did establish an order among the people, they being a band of 10. And they did bring many of the inhabitants of these lands into that order. Now behold, they did establish a righteous branch of the children of God in these lands, and as many as would unite with them were counted as the children of God. Now behold, after many years they had passed, the people did return again to the worship of their false gods, and the number of the righteous band did dwindle until they were few in number. And it came to pass that after many years, some of another tribe, the tribe of Levi, did arrive. And it came to pass that Suran did learn that his uncle Gamek was the last of this righteous branch. And there were many more things written on the records that Suran did read, and I've recorded them in this book, chapter 2. Now Suran did believe the words of his uncle, and he did believe in the God of their fathers, Adam and Enoch and Noah, and he did believe in that Messiah that should come to redeem mankind from their fallen state. For he should come forth in a future time and open the way that all who believe on him should be saved. And as he did confess his belief in these things, Suran believed he heard a voice speak unto him, saying, Behold, the things which thou hast read are true, and behold, you have been chosen, even before you were born, to raise up a righteous people unto the Lord. But behold, Suran did not understand many of the things which the voice had spoken, and he did inquire aloud, What is the meaning of these things? For what life was there before this one? And now it was as if the voice did speak unto Suran concerning the order of things before this one. And it did teach that all mankind did reside in the realm of God prior to living here upon this world. And also that there was a time appointed when each should come unto this world to be born and live. And it did teach him many more things which cannot be written. Now behold, after he had thought he heard the voice testify of these things, he himself did testify of them. And Gamech did take Suran into the waters of the pool which was below the cliff, and he did take him down into the water, and bring him forth again out of the water. And this he did, that they might be cleansed and witness that he had accepted the teachings of God. And thus he did initiate Suran into the order, which is the order of God. And he did appoint him to be a king and a prophet and also a priest. And it came to pass that after these things has occurred, Gamech was stricken and did collapse upon the earth. And he spoke unto Suran in great weakness, saying, Suran, son of my brother, read these records and preserve them, and teach them unto your people. For there were many records in this place, and they do contain the word of God, and also the history of his people. Wherefore God had charged you to restore that ancient order which did exist among our fathers, because that they should go forth among all the inhabitants of this land. Now after he had spoken these things, he was taken in death, and Suran mourned greatly, and he buried the body of Gamech near the place of the records. Now behold, after these things had occurred, he did return to his household with those records Gamech has caused him to read. Chapter 3. And it came to pass that Suran was a wise man, and he did have a strong desire to believe that which he had been taught. Wherefore he did doubt concerning those manifestations of God, for he did not know whether it came from God or from his own mind. Sound familiar? We all fight with that. Nevertheless, he did press forward in faith, having a hope of those things which brought forth goodness did come from God. Wherefore he did teach his family concerning those things which he had read. And he spoke unto them of the first father and mother of humanity, and he taught that because of their transgression they were cast out from before the presence of God. And it was for this reason that mankind doth reside in a fallen and carnal state, that there might be weaknesses and imperfections in the world. And Suran also taught them concerning he who would be sent to redeem mankind, that he would make an eternal sacrifice, so that mankind could be freed from the wickedness and return once more into the presence of God. Wherefore he did also teach them concerning Enoch and his teachings, and also the great city which he did build up. And he also taught his family of Noah and their preservation from the flood, because of their righteousness and hearkening to the words of God. And he taught them of Shem, the great king, and also of his descendants through his son Arphaxad, who did journey through the land of large men, even until they did escape into the west and come unto these islands. And he did also teach unto them concerning those who had escaped captivity, who were descended of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, who is Israel and Levi. Wherefore he taught them a history of those people who were led out of Jerusalem to preserve the lineage of Levi, and their ancestors were brought by the hand of the Lord to these islands. Now he also taught them concerning those who had come before, and had mixed their seed with the inhabitants of these islands. And these were the ancestors of Suran and his family. Suran did also speak unto them concerning the prophecies of he who should come to redeem mankind, even the great Messiah. For the great prophet Isaiah spoke, saying, For he grew up before him as a tender plant, and like a root out of the dry ground. He had no form, and he had no majesty. When we shall see him, there is no attractiveness that we would desire him. He is despised and rejected of others, a man of sorrows, a familiar with grief, and as it were, one whom we hide our faces from. He was despised by us, and we did not value him. Surely he has borne our pain, and carried our sorrows. Yet we did look upon him as stricken, punished of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was injured for our iniquities. The punishments done to complete us was upon him, and with his bruises we are healed. Like sheep we have all gone astray, and we have turned each one to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is likened to a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers does not speak, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken away from prison and from judgment, and who shall think upon his descendants? For he was cut off from the land of the living, for the transgression of my people was he stricken. And they made his death with the wicked, and with the rich people his tomb, because he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. Yet the Lord was willing to bruise him, and he was caused him to suffer. When his soul shall be made an offering for sin, he shall see his offspring, he shall prolong his days, and the will of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. He shall see light because of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. Through his knowledge shall his righteous servants make many righteous, and he shall bear their iniquities. And the world, because of their wickedness, shall judge him to be nothing. Wherefore they scourge him, and he endureth it, and they smite him, and he endureth it. Even they spit upon him, and he endureth it. And all these things because of his loving kindness and his long suffering toward the children of humanity, and even the God of our fathers, who were led out of captivity from Egypt, and also were preserved in the wilderness through him, even the God of Abraham and of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And he giveth himself as a man into the hands of evil men, to be lifted up according to the words of an angel. Wherefore he shall be lifted up, even upon a cross, to be crucified, and he shall be entombed in a sepulchre. And there shall be 3 days of darkness which shall overcome the land, and these things shall be a sign of his death, even unto us who are among the children of Israel. And the Lord our God shall come unto all those who are of the house of Israel at that day, even those people who do reside in a distant land, even Jerusalem. They shall be punished because they have crucified their God, and they have rejected the signs and wonders and power and glory which doth accompany the God of Israel. And because of their pride they shall be hated among all many nations. But when they shall turn again unto him, and remember the Holy One of Israel, he shall fulfill those promises which were made unto them through their fathers. And all the earth shall see him, and they shall all be blessed. And this shall be a sign of him: a maiden shall conceive, and she shall bear a son, and his name shall be Emmanuel. Chapter 4. Now after Suran had expounded these things unto his family, Suran's second son, Shurek, did speak unto his father, saying, Surely this thing means nothing. Could it not be that Gamech was a delusional man? And could it not be that he manufactured these things? For no man can know the future, and no man can know who will come to a place, and who will leave from a place. Wherefore he hath done these things so as to lead your heart away from the gods of our tribes. For if your heart will be led away from the gods of our tribe, then surely their wrath will be poured out upon us, and we will suffer famine and hunger. And I say unto thee, Father, forget the ramblings of this strange man hath spoken unto you, and trouble yourself not. But now Suran's eldest son, Achman, did ponder upon the meaning of the things which his father had spoken. And he did take himself out of the home of his father, and did ponder upon the meanings of the things which his father had spoken. And after praying mightily, he did return to the home of his father. And Achman spake unto his younger brother, saying, Behold, my brother, I have prayed to know the truth of these things. And an angel of the Lord appeared unto me, and he did witness unto me the truth of the things which our father hath spoken. Wherefore, if you will not believe the words of our father, believe my words. And it came to pass that Shurek did speak to his brother, saying, Surely these things must be true, for if this God has power to do these things, then he is the most powerful of all the gods, and I will hearken unto his voice and command. Now behold, all the rest of the household of Suran, even his wife Tanel, and his youngest son Kodal, and his daughter Gura, did believe on his words. Wherefore Suran in his heart was amazed for his family, yet in his heart he still remained unsure of the things which he had been called to do, or of the manifestations which had been witnessed. Nonetheless, he did gather together to worship God and obey his commandments. Chapter 5. Now Suran did take his family up to the place where Gamech had taught him, wherefore they did travel northwards for many days, and the Spirit of God did caused that his family should enter into the pool as a sign of their faith in God. And this they did. And Suran did appoint his sons to the order of Levi, the priesthood. For he did appoint Achman after the order of Gerson, and Shurek he did appoint after the order of Kohath, and Kodal he did appoint after the order of Merari. And for it was a remnant of these things which had been preserved upon these islands. Wherefore Suran did appoint them after the manner in which he was appointed by Gamek. Now Suran had been appointed to the holy order of Shem, which was that selfsame order given unto Adam, which is the holy order of God. And they did call this place Catagan, because it was a hidden sacred place. And it came to pass that Suran did search for the other records of which Gamek had spoken, and his sons did find many more records. And behold, these records did contain a genealogy of Suran's family, for they were led out of the hands of captivity and into this land. And they did also find a mysterious inscription upon a cut of bamboo. Wherefore the inscription did describe the location of a repository containing many sacred things and even great riches. And they knew that the location was far from the place where they did reside. Wherefore Suran spoke unto his family that they might journey to the location of this repository to investigate it. And he did speak unto his wife, Tanel, saying, My beloved wife, I will take our sons unto the place inscribed upon this record, and we will discover the sacred treasures which were hid up for a divine purpose, which thing may prove to my mind the things which I have beheld. And Tanel spoke unto him, My husband, I know that the things which you have been taught are correct, and I know that the Lord will guide your hand in the recovery of these things. Wherefore go, and take care in your journey, and do the will of the Lord. And it came to pass that Suran and his sons did take their journey into the mountains toward the southeast, and after many days of travel they did approach the foot of a mountain. And this was the place indicated by the inscriptions, and it was called Genus. Now Achman did see a large stone with an engraving upon it, and the engraving did match that which was upon the bamboo. And it came to pass that Achman did touch the engraving that he might examine it, after which he did begin to remove stones from the mountain, and a cave in the mountain opened up before him. Now Suran had seen this, and he did command his sons, saying, Go and find wherewith we might light fires, this so that we might be able to see into the cave. Wherefore they did so, and they brought some dried sticks, and they lit a fire at the entrance to the cave. And it came to pass that Suran did take a stick from the fire, and he did use it to light his way as he journeyed into the cave. Likewise Achman and Shurek and Kodal. And they did make their journey into the cave, and after a space of time the fire upon the stick which Kodal did carry was extinguished, and they did press forward into the depth of the cave. And likewise, after a time, all of their fires were extinguished, and they knew not whither they should go. And behold, as they did ponder upon these things, Kodal did see that a light did shine forth ahead of them, yet it was a faint light, and they made their way towards the light. Now after they did reach the light, they saw that its brightness was great, and they saw that the walls of the cave were lined with stones, which did give off light, and it was brighter than fire. Wherefore they did see the interior of the cave as if it were day. Such a cool story. And within the room they beheld a great treasure, yea, even much gold and silver, and many ancient records, and they saw many articles of fine bronze. Now they did also behold many fine swords and other weapons, for they had resided in this cave for a great many years. And Suran spoke unto his sons, saying, Now behold, let us take care, for we shall take of these treasures and return to our home, and let us construct a temple after the manner which is described in the records. And after we had done so, we will place within it these relics and all other treasures, and we will offer sacrifice unto the manner which the Lord hath instructed. And Suran's sons did go forth and took of those treasures which were needful, And they did seal up again the mouth of the cave, and did return unto their homes. What a great story. Chapter 6. Now Suran was the son of Galek, who was the brother of Gamek. And they were the sons of Gadakaxara. And Gadakaxara was the son of Do. And Do was the son of Konakuram. And Konakuram was the son of Lasaja. And Lasaja was the son of Natanal. And Natanal was the son of Nabat. And Nabat was the son of Joshua. And Joshua was the son of Joseph. And Joseph was the son of David, the Levite, who was a descendant of Levi through Gerson, through Libnah, and who had escaped into the wilderness. Now behold, Joseph was the firstborn of David upon these islands. For behold, these islands were called Lachus and Ophir and Tarsus and Minden, and also many more names, for there are a great many islands in this place. And the inhabitants of these islands have become mixed, and with the seed of Shem. For behold, there were some of the seed of Shem who did travel east. Wherefore I have already given an account of the genealogy of the descendants of Shem, who did come unto these islands. For Ophir and Havilah did depart for the land of their residence, for they did desire to know the dispersion of the seed of their ancestors. And they did travel many years, even until they came unto the land Kemet. And after many years in this land, they did make their way west, even until they did discover a great water. Now behold, they did traverse this water, even until they came to a land. And the inhabitants of this land did capture them, and did enslave them. Now the children of Ophir and the children of Havilah did much labor under the yoke of these large men. And after many years did the Lord God lead them out of the land, and they did traverse the great deep, even to the west. Now of this journey I have written a more full account, wherefore I do not write of its fullness here. And I speak only of these things, that I might establish the genealogy of Suran, the father of our people. And after many years and much travel, Ophir and Havilah and their children did arrive upon these islands, and they did call these islands after their own names. Now behold, the son of Ophir was Seldom, who was born in the land west of Kemet, and the son of Seldon was Ursel, who was born in the captivity among the land of the large men. Now behold, the son of Ursel was Enos, who was born on the voyage to these islands, and they did establish themselves on these islands. Wherefore Joshua, the son of Joseph, was born of a woman who was of the seed of Enos. Now it was in Joshua that both the order of Shem and the order of Levi were preserved. Wherefore Suran, because of his ancestors, was authorized to administer the requirement of the law which was contained within the records. That's an explanation of the priesthood. All right, chapter 7. Now, behold, Suran had been taught the proper form of measurement by Gamek. And 1 taka was the length of the arm of an adult man, from his elbow to the ends of his fingers. And 1 butar was the width of the hand of a man, or the size of a stone. And it came to pass that Suran and all his family, and all those among their tribe who would join them, did work to gather those things necessary for the construction of the sacred articles, which God commanded that they should build. Now behold, they did weave cloth, and they did dye the cloth, that it might be according to that which was written in the records. And they did cut trees for timber, and they did trade for much gold. And it came to pass that they did build a temple after the pattern which was commanded in the ancient records. Wherefore they did build a temple after the order of Shem, which was after the order of Enoch. For behold, they need not heed every part of that law which giveth unto the children of Israel, and preserveth through the descendants of Gershon, and Kohath, and Merari. For behold, that law had been given unto the children of Israel, which had come forth out of captivity from the people of Kemet. For behold, the seed of Ophir were not bound by that law, for they were bound only by that law which was given unto their fathers through Shem. For they had not sinned like unto the children of Israel. For behold, Because of this thing, they were counted as Gentiles unto the descendants of Levi, which thing caused much contention in those days. How interesting. So, first of all, I wonder if that's why they gave us all the temple information in the words of Ezekiel. And then now we have an explanation that we don't have to follow the laws of the children of Israel if you weren't under that same condemnation. So that's really interesting. And then they gave why the priesthood was still within their lines, but that wasn't what I was thinking of. Anyways, that they were counted as Gentiles until the descendants of Levi, even though they are the descendants of Levi. Chapter 8. And it came to pass that after the space of 2 years they did complete the temple, and Suran did take his sons, and the husband of his daughter, and he did purify them, that they might be priests within the temple unto the Most High God. And they did enter within the gate of the court of the temple, and he did cleanse them in water, and did put the priestly garments upon his sons. And they did take a young water buffalo, and slaughtered it, and painted the blood upon the horns of the altar, and the rest they poured out by the altar. And they did burn parts of it upon the altar, and therefore they did offer up burnt offerings before the Lord, as it was written in the ancient records. Now after they did so, Suran took his sons, and they did go unto the mountain Genis, and they did retrieve the sacred articles and records and treasures. They did place them within the temple. Chapter 9. And it came to pass that there will come one from a faraway land. He will travel upon the waters. His skin will be white like unto those he will travel with. He will cause many of the kings to come unto subjection to him. But behold, there will be one king who will rise up, and he will lead many into battle. And they will kill the white man and many of his people. And this he shall do for the freedom and peace of his people. And behold, he shall be a descendant of the loins of Achman. For behold, this victory shall not be enough to stay the power of these men from the distant land, and many more shall come. And they shall bring the people of these islands into subjection to them and their king, and they shall destroy much of the history of my people. Now behold, there shall rise a conflict among the men of the land of the king and the men of the land of freedom, and they shall do battle upon these lands. And the people of the land of freedom will triumph, and they shall take control of the islands of my descendants. But many of my descendants shall rise up against these new conquerors. And behold, a man of these islands shall rise up and gather the treasures of my people. And he shall deliver them to a woman, and he shall deliver them up unto her children. And it is these who shall become powerful and subjugate the people of these lands. And there will be one who shall rise up and take power from those who subjugate the people. And he shall gain much power through his armies. But many lies shall be spread by his enemies, and they shall cause that he shall be cast down, even those people who are yellow. And the people shall be subjugated once again, and so they shall remain until they shall be united and cast out the evil among them. Chapter 10. Now behold, I saw a great nation in a distant land, and the children rebelled against the mother. And they did gain much liberty from their fight, and they became the nation of the eagle. And there shall be three great wars. In the first, brother shall fight against brother, even the nation of the eagle divided. There shall be a great abomination rise up, and they shall take the power from the people of the nation of the eagle. Now the second great war, the nation of the eagle shall fight in a distant land and aid them, and the son of the second great war shall rise up and do great evils. And these shall be the cause of the third great war. For the abominations desires not to lose power in that nation, and they shall cause that the nation of the eagle shall fight in the land, in our land. Now behold, the abomination shall cause much evil to come against the people of the nation of the eagle. And one great bird did attack one of the mountains, and another great bird did attack another of the mountains. There was much fire and smoke, and after a time 3 mountains fell. Wow. And there were 2 lesser birds, and one did attack a large house, and another did attack the earth. And the great abomination did take power in this, and they did subjugate the people of the nation of the eagle, and this was done that they might gain more power over them. Now those who did perform this abomination did cause that the liberties of the people should be done away, and new laws were put into place that gave freedom unto the abomination. Wherefore the leader of the nation of the eagle had gone to war with another nation, and it was caused that the people of the nation of the eagle should believe that the people of the other nation were their enemy, and that they should slay them. Wherefore the abomination did cause such things to be believed, that they might gain power over the nation. And it came to pass that I saw the fall of the nation of the eagle, and it was because of the abomination, for they sought to destroy the nation of the eagle. Wow. Chapter 11. Now Suran had grown old and knew that he must soon die, and he called all his posterity together, and he blessed them. Now had called forward his son Achman, and he ordained him to be the high priest over the temple. And he called forth his son Shirach, and he ordained him to be king unto the people. And he did also call forth his son Kodal, and did appoint him to be prophet unto the people. And thus the offices of Suran were divided equally among his sons. And it came to pass that after many days Suran died, and he was buried in a place near the temple. All right, that is the end of the book of Suran, and we'll start with his son next time. Thanks for joining us on Prophets of Babel.